Families are the most important care providers for the elderly. In fact, the majority of care providers are often their own family members. Depending on their cultural values or backgrounds, different types of care are being rendered to the elderly. In a growing society like ours, we are facing different challenges on how are we going to provide care for the elderly. Our team of student experts have been working night and day in learning more about the care for the aging. In this video, we interviewed a diverse group of people regarding their views about looking after the elderly. So let's watch.
Hi, my name is Catherine and I'm Filipino. Caring for our elderly, it is a big responsibility. With us Filipinos, we normally care for our family, or especially our elderly. Personally, we try our very best not to send them to a facility, for example, a nursing home or a retirement home. When it comes to that point, we try our very best as a family to care for them, no matter how dependent, how independent. I know it is hard having a job, having young kids, and on top of that you have a responsibility of taking care of your elderly. But that's one thing good in Canada is there's services that they render if we do need some type of assistance. To admit that it could be a burden. It could be a burden with your time. It could take a toll of physical, emotional, and financial when it comes to caring for our elderly. But I believe no matter what, it's a good thing that the family gets together and take care of our old people, our own family member in our own personal way. And I truly believe that it does make a difference for them, and they do appreciate everything that you do for them.
Well, concerning your questions about providing services for elderlies in my family, I would like to think that I could do that depending upon my availability. And my availability would be based upon the fact as to whether I'm working or I'm not. The fact is that if I'm working, obviously I may not have the time available to provide the services that is required by the elderly person. Having said that, I think it would be a case where I may need to seek some support services from other sources, perhaps from the government or the city, as in the care of community care access programs or nursing homes. On the contrary, if I am available, I would certainly like to be available to provide whatever care it is for my elderly family members.
Okay, so growing up I watched my parents take care of their parents and the way they shared those responsibilities. Thinking about how I would respond to looking after my parents as they become elderly. It's definitely something that between myself and my brother we'd have to talk about and discuss, because I could see how it would definitely be almost like a burden on someone who has a family to add that extra responsibility. So it would definitely have to be a shared responsibility, but no question ever as to whether or not I would actually take that responsibility on, because it's just something that in past traditions and in family has been done and will be done, and I'm happy to do it, but definitely would need resources and help to do that.
Being from a European background, we've always had a tradition where the grandparents or parents, or the elderly in general, are taken care of by their immediate family members, which could be brother, sister, mother, father, daughters, sons. We don't really believe that you send them away to a home or anything like that. It does bring hardship sometimes. It's hard to take care of them, but we have a belief that there's the love and the bond between the family members, that everybody helps out, and it works well. It's been happening for tradition after tradition, and in the old days when my parents did that for my grandparents, in the future I'll probably be doing that for my parents as well, taking care of them as they get older. They receiving a pension, a government pension, or government financing or whatever, it helps out, but it's not a necessity for us. We don't look at that. That's for them to put in the bank and do what they need to be done. And if it's required, then we go ahead and we use that money. But other than that, it's our responsibility to take care of our parents and grandparents.
My family thinks that you need to look after the elderly. This is because they are your parents. Your parents looked after you when you were younger. So you in turn need to look after your parents when they get older. My family feels that it is wrong to place the elderly into a nursing home. Many Chinese people feel that when you place your elderly parents into a nursing home, you are essentially abandoning your parents. Some people may have help from the government, which allows them to help their elderly parents more than people who do not have any financial help from the government. But either way, you have to carry that financial burden.